Morning, everyone. Morning. I kind of have a captive audience, and no one knows what I'm about to do. And when I say no one has a clue what I'm about to do, I mean no one. None of the PCDs, none of the staff members, none of the directors, or the senior leadership team. Nothing bad, nothing bad. But what I'm about to do is this week, just to place reference to what I'm about to do. This week, the PCDs went to a retreat, and at that retreat, there was a big request of us, which is to move the Allen from where we are, our current state, to a magnet institution, as well as a 5-star unit, which is not something that is easy. So it's a huge lift. So with such a significant lift, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna, when you're on the radio or listening to the radio, or you're watching television, it says interruption of the regular scheduled program. So I'm literally interrupting the regular scheduled program. We could get back to this, but I just ask that you give me a few minutes to speak my truth to you guys. All right? So what I'm gonna say is give you a quote that has been dear to me for the longest, for over 5 or 6 years. And first time I saw it, I was literally in tears. It's from the movie Coach Carter. So a number of people probably know it. And it goes by, sorry, I'm a bit nervous, but our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us most. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant? Who am I to be gorgeous, talented, and famous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of the universe. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that people won't feel insecure around you. We are born to make manifest the glory of the universe within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in all of us. And when we let our light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we liberate from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates us. So I'm going to repeat that line, which is, and when we let our light shine, we unconsciously liberate other people. We unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberate others. So I stand here now based on the request, the retreat that we had, and the request that was made by Kevin, which is to move this organization to a different level. And I'm standing to let my light shine and ask that we as a team, a leadership team, let our light shine. And I'll explain what that means by speaking my truth for a couple of minutes. So please bear with me. At the age of 10, I came over here from a third world country, Guyana. And in that country, I've never witnessed racism. I've felt very secure. I've never felt not a part. But when I came over to the US, I moved to an area called Bedford-Stuyvesant in Brooklyn. If anyone knows, nice area, and he laughs, because if anyone knows Bed-Stuy, there's a saying that goes with it. No. Bed-Stuy, do or die. The first night I was living there, I heard something that kind of pop, pop, pop. I thought it was firecrackers. But my dad quickly corrected me and said, no, it's not firecrackers. It's actually weapons, someone shooting outside. This age, 10, I've never touched a weapon or dealt with anything of violence, so it scared me. Now, where was I? I was in a studio that was no bigger than those 2 offices, take down the wall, and it was myself, my dad, my stepmother, and my siblings, so my younger brother and sister. And we slept on 2 full-size beds. So 3 of us on one bed, and my mom, my stepmother and dad on the other bed. And my dad was only making $18,000. And I'm sharing information with you guys that I've actually never told more than 4 individuals in my lifetime. I'm very private, but I'm sharing it with you guys to be completely speaking my truth and be open. So moving forward, this is where I was living at 10. Moving forward, went to high school and graduated as valedictorian of the school, got into college, and wanted to do medicine, But when I spoke to my dad, I was discouraged. He told me that we can't afford it, and I didn't even know how to get coverage for it, and I decided to turn away. Now, this is a sequence of events that's going to happen that I think is powerful, and the reason why I'm standing where I am today is in college, I wanted to do physical therapy since I didn't get into medicine. So I filled out the application to become a physical therapist. Now, when I filled out that application, I accidentally, there were dotted lines. It said physical therapy in the book. This was back in the day, physical therapy. Then there was a dotted line going to the code for physical therapy. I accidentally went down one. And I applied to one school, Seton Hall, because I didn't want to go to any other school. And they rejected me because I had the wrong code for the program. So I applied to physical therapy, but it said whatever is beyond physical therapy, that's what showed up. It's literally dry. So I didn't get into the program. So with all of the sciences and stuff I had, I decided to go into nursing. My advisor suggested I do nursing. So I went ahead and did nursing. And in nursing was one of the periods of time where I felt, thank you so much, where I felt completely like an outsider. Because here was in a class of 63 individuals, and there was only about 5 guys. But it was because I did not feel comfortable leaving and dropping out of college. I said I have to do something. So I went into nursing. Now, while I was in nursing, I continued doing something I did. I was a tutor for about 2-3 years of physics, chemistry, and biology. So I continued doing that, and I was studying in nursing and still living in Bed-Stuy in Brooklyn. Now, while living in Brooklyn from the age of, say, 14 to when I left at 18, I've been stopped by the police about 5 times because I was coming home a little too late, and I had on a black leather jacket, which kept me warm, with a hoodie, and I had on a bag. So 5 times I looked like someone they were looking for. And of the 5 times I was stopped, 2 of the times that I was stopped, I was not, well, the first one of the times, they literally drove the car up while I was walking, minding my business, coming from the library, came off into my neighborhood, going home, 15-minute walk. They drove up next to me and they jumped out of the car, 2 individuals, and literally, think about this, ran up to me and stop, and literally was acting in such a way that I thought it was criminals trying to steal from me. So it scared me, completely scared me. And but I didn't grow up in an environment like that. Then the next time I was about to step in from the sidewalk into the street and cross the street, and the police car pulled up in front of me. They jumped out and slammed me over the hood and said that the reason they stopped me was because I looked like someone. I looked like someone that they were looking for. And those were traumatic events for me because I come from they wouldn't notice, but my father was a pastor, my grandfather was a pastor, and I came up from that lineage of pastors. So my spirit is always of helping others and doing, why I went into healthcare, helping others and doing good for others. So to be treated unfairly was really rough. It was really rough for me. But inside I was boiling, I got angry. Why is this place the way it is? Because of the complexion of my skin, I'm treated in a particular way. They would look at me and not see that, I'm a college student. I'm studying to become a nurse to help individuals out there. I tutor. None of that. They wouldn't see any of that. What they see is a criminal. And it affected me. And what my dad did, and I continue to do this to this day, he said, there's certain things you can control in your life. Focus on what you can control. So continue in college, go through college, and control your temple, your body. So eat correctly, exercise, and keep your mind clear. So anyone that knows me knows I love quotes. Why do I like quotes? because what it does for me, it resonates and help me center myself. The universe, the world where I'm living in, looks at me in such a light that it's not healthy. So I use quotes to help me stay strong. So moving forward from college, got into the nursing program, became the president of the nursing association. Was big on drives and gathering funds and all that to help others. So graduated, left, and went to nursing school. Went to start working, and moving forward a little, I went into the graduate study program. Just moving a little faster. Went into graduate studies for my MBA, and this was another period of time where I felt not a part. And you would think, graduate studies, you should be a part. So the first time I actually didn't feel a part was, I had to do the GRE. You had to get above 600 score to get in to the Baruch program, which I did, and everything was fine. So I thought I was a part. Here I am doing everything that was requested in the application, and here I am, I should be a part. But I got in, and the first day of class, when the door opened up and we saw my classmates, there were 26 individuals, and of the 26 individuals, I was the only person of African descent. There were Asians, Caucasians, and everyone else, and I was the only person of African descent. And normally, I wouldn't notice it, but it was so in my face, and I said, wow, there's no one I personally feel like would understand me from where I come. In no way I have anything against anyone, but I just didn't feel fully a part. So it was a 3-year cohorted program. And within the year and a half, my GPA was above 3.8, and I wanted to stop and give up. To come out, drop the MBA program, and the reason I wanted to drop the program was because I was looking at the individuals that were coming into the class. So every class, they try to have a CEO from a company in healthcare come and speak, and every person that came and spoke didn't look like me. So I'm like, why am I doing something that, they don't accept people that look like me? It doesn't make sense. Maybe I should do something else. I was doing nursing, maybe I should do graduate NNP or something else, be at the bedside. But I decided to go to an advisor, and the advisor, I'm glad that he did what he did. He sat with me, we spoke and connected, and he asked me what happened. Why are you thinking of dropping out? And I said, honestly, I really don't feel like this is for me. My personality type and who I am, I could be jovial, humorous, and all this stuff, but I don't think I'll be a good fit. I'm not a cookie cut based on what I'm seeing coming in the classroom and what's presented. Tailored suit, looking very sharp, and not my complexion. So I told him this, and he said, you know what? I think just getting to know you in this hour, you should absolutely do this. And you should do this because I truly feel that you should be that light in this area that is not shining on your particular group. And I continued, graduated, continued. Then I became a manager, moving forward. Now, in the first 2 years of being a manager, I felt trying to get my grip in, trying to, figure my way through. But I'm putting someone on the spot now. But until Marsha came in and was there with me, and I saw her authentic nature in the sense of how her style, it resonated. It resonated, we resonated, it worked well. And something recently happened where our new CNO, Courtney, in the retreat, going back to the retreat that I spoke about in a few minutes ago, she said something that resonated even more so. And we were asking her different questions about herself. And one of the questions we asked was, actually she mentioned it, which was, I don't want leaders to be like me. I want everyone to be like themselves. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I want everyone to be like themselves. So I want you to be who you are. And it sounds simple, but to me, it completely relieved all of the restraints I had, and I guess the area that I closed myself off and try to act like everyone else in a sense. It relieved me of that, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna, from this day, which was 2 days ago, I will speak to who I am and be who I am, like it or not. I'm not in any way being disrespectful to anyone, but I will be me. So that's why I decided to come and speak in this moment, because that's what Courtney said. And when Kevin asked us to, you know, the PCDs build a mission statement, when we decided that we want to become magnets and we wanted to get to become a 5-star, we need to do something different. So what I found as the recipe, you know, like if you're a loved one or when you were a kid, you are given, you know, a sample of the food that's being cooked and you're asked how it tastes, and you're like, oh, it just needs a little bit more. I think the little thing that's missing at the Allen is authenticity and being true to who you are. So that's why I decided to come on stage here, not for self-recognition, please don't perceive it as that, but see it as me asking you, pleading with you guys, if we were gonna move from our current state to a magnet 5-star institution, we gotta be as leaders. And that's why I said I have a captive audience. We have to be as leaders, we have to do something different. And that something different to me is be true to who you are, because if you're true to who you are and you're authentic, you now, based on the poem I just read, you now shine a light that allow others to feel comfortable in being who they are. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So now, if you allow people to be who they are, what will happen? They'll follow you. The institution will move in the right direction. Patient care, all the metrics and scores, we wouldn't even have to focus on that because they know this is what we need to do. So speak your truth, leaders. I ask that you speak your truth. I ask that you help build other leaders so that we as a team move in the right direction, because what we're being asked to do by Kevin and by the PCD team is something significantly difficult. And me and my quotes, to elevate success, you could never get to success by using the elevator. You have to use the stairs. You can never get to success by using the elevator. You have to use the stairs, meaning you have to put in the hard work. You can't lose 10, 15, 20 pounds by sitting on the couch. You have to get up and work. So with us all being authentic in who we are, we'll be more comfortable not put on a facade. Relieved of all the constrictions, we can get to that next level. So my plea to you is speak your truth and be authentic. And I hope we can get to that by the end of the year. We'll see a different organization. Thank you.